welcome to Tapping into the Energy of Life. And I'm Carol, and we have Palak
Hi.
and Maria and Maria.
Hello.
And the three of us are here to share some of our wisdom and insight on different topics. And today our topic is inspiration. So the first thing that I did was I sat down and I said, well, what inspires me? And maybe that's something you should do, is sit down and say, well, what inspires me? Where does my inspiration come from? And there's all different ways to get inspired. One of my ways is to be in nature. I have, from the time I was a little girl, I have always loved nature, always loved walking through the woods and building forts and being enveloped in the trees. Used to love to swing when I was a little girl. The last place I lived was in the mountains of North Georgia, and we had wonderful hiking and waterfalls. And I would just hike, 3 times a week at least. And I'd do some yoga on the bridges over the water. I'd sit by the
Wow.
waterfalls and just take in all of the energy from the universe and the plants and the greenery, and just try and absorb all that energy and throw my cares into the water and just breathe deep. And that to me is connecting with that energy, just gives you the abundance of life, and just inspires me. I do my best thinking when I'm surrounded in nature. And now that I'm a sailor, I get my energy from the water, all the different colors of the water, the amazing, what I call the ever-changing canvas of the sky, with the sunrises and the sunsets and the moon rises and sets, and all of that. Um, one thing that happened recently was I was on a multi-day passage where we move on the boat all day, all night. We take 4-hour shifts, and I was on a shift in the early morning. And about 4:15 in the morning, I could just see the lights starting to change around me. And for the next hour, I watched the most amazing sunrise with all the colors. And, you just get that, I don't know, burst of excitement for a brand new day. And you're thinking of all of the possibilities of the day and the year ahead, and just being inspired by nature is where I get a lot of my energy and inspiration from. I also think being with like-minded people, and that's the three of us. But it may also be, join a club. Like if you want to get into photography or something, as just an example, join a club, seek out like-minded people, read a book, join podcast. Over my years, I've been very inspired by a lot of the spiritual gurus that are out there today. But I think one of the most powerful things is being around people who inspire you. And that's what's so wonderful about our group, that we love each other so much. And we've never met in person. We do everything by Zoom. We're all from all over the world. Um, and it's just so wonderful to have people that resonate with you in your heart and your life, and how you view things. So that's what I would encourage you all to do, to be inspired and seek out people that really build you up and support you and give you ideas, and all of that. So that's my view on some of the things that inspire me.
Yeah,
Lovely.
I agree with a few things that you've said. Like how to enhance my energy, lift it up, how to be in a good state inside so that my mind goes from survival mode to creative mode. And I think that's basic to be inspired. So really following your passions, as you have said, Carol, like doing something that you really love. And starting to also not doing the things that are a sacrifice or that bring you down. So being very aware of how you lose your energy every day and taking care of your energy as a priority, taking care of your emotional state, of your energy levels as a priority. And from there onwards, it grows and grows. Now, I went through a sort of depression for a long time, and I didn't feel like any motivation at all. And there was a moment when I said, well, if I'm gonna be here, maybe there's something that I start feeling like wanting to do, even if it's having a cup of tea or going for, taking a ray of sun, and so many small things are good enough. And we just want like a big highlight, like a big wow experience. And for me, it was the small little things that started to bring me out of that state. I started to accept myself. I started to learn that, like, there's a film that I like, which is the Peaceful Warrior. It's like, take the rubbish out of here. So it's like, stop thinking so much and start feeling your body and feeling your energy and start doing what you like. So for me, that was the way that I started to feel something that drove me. And funny enough, now people say that I inspire people. And that's because I am
Yeah.
so happy enjoying life. Life is so interesting. There's always nice to do, always something nice to do, something different, something to learn, something you feel curious about. And for me, the small little things are just like the salt and pepper in life. I like them.
I love
I
that.
have a question for you, Maria. So when you were down and feeling depressed in those days, what were the small steps uh, that you took to make yourself come out? Because when you're in that grieving stage, or I don't know if grieving stage is the right word, but when you're completely low and down and nothing interests you in life, and um, and then you don't even want to do anything inspiring, or you don't even want to feel
I
happy.
don't
You
want
don't
it.
want to. You just want to be stuck and just leave me alone. So
Exactly.
was it natural way you came out of it, or did you seek help and people were helping you to come out of it? How did it work for you?
Well, for me, what really worked were mainly, I would say, two things. First, I had a dog that took me out of the house for a walk. So he used to
Okay.
walk me every day. And having to take care of somebody. So coming out of my own self, like looking down into my own thoughts all the time and having to take care of another living being, that was amazingly helpful because he was like, come out of yourself and do something useful. And he would not let me just not do it. He was a 40 kilos Labrador dog. So he was quite a thing. So he pulled me out and he used to take me out in the hills and in the countryside for walks. So we used to walk for about 2 or 3 hours a day. And that was really
Oh,
helpful. So you see nature, the sun, feeling whatever, he coming and, sneaking and, licking my hand or whatever, those small little tiny things. And then one other thing that really was amazingly useful, which I think is one of the most amazing lessons I've learned in life, was that in a certain moment, I really thought there must be another way to go through life. This cannot be just what it is. And I don't have a clue how to do it. So I need help. And I was asking what I thought in that time. It was God, life, the universe, my higher self, call it whatever. I was crying at night sometimes, like in despair, and saying, I cannot cope with this anymore. I need help. And I surrender because I don't know how to do it. So I have no clue whatsoever. I need somebody to tell me how to get out of this situation because I cannot. And usually in those moments of grief and feeling so bad, I had this feeling that when I was really tired, because I think that comes out of the whole pressure I put in myself, thinking that I had to be useful and I wasn't, that I had to be this and I wasn't, that I was this and I shouldn't, and all of those thoughts. So at a certain point, I was so tired that I was just like, I need help. And I surrendered. So my ego, my identity was like, okay, I've had enough. I'm tired. And those nights, I felt like a presence. I used to call it like a feminine presence because it was like feeling an embrace that held me. And I went to bed crying in that embrace. And then the next morning, suddenly I felt better. So it was not something that I did consciously, but at the same time, I think it's one of the most amazing things that I've learned, that is to surrender and say, I don't know how to do it. I need help. So I'm going to ask for it and really open myself to that. So that really was a life changer. And then, of course, when you do that, when you really do that, things start to appear in your life, like people, situations, encounters, conversations, little things, like magic things that happen. For example, once I was in the highway, there was a sunset, and I kind of touched the side of the road with my car. So I had like sort of an accident. It was not really, because it was like, I was in those moments very sad and very like, oh, I, I cannot even get out of it. And so when I took my car to the garage to fix it, the man there was asking me, how are you? And suddenly he gave me a book, which was called The Good Fortune in Spanish. And he said, I'm reading this book. I'm going to lend it to you. And so he started talking about how we create good luck and good fortune in life and all of those things. So it was like all these little things started to happen the moment I started to surrender and thinking there has to be another way, and I don't know how. And I'm open for life to teach me, because I cannot do it myself. I don't know how to.
So things just
Wow.
came into your path. That's
Yeah.
what a great story of that guy giving you that book. That's
Yeah, and that was
wonderful.
just one of them, but there were many, many encounters and people that helped me out without even knowing that I needed help, but they did.
Exactly.
And I think that's a basic for inspiration. When you feel you want to do something or you want to get out of a place, the universe conspires in your favor. So, and open yourself to that the universe is not your enemy, is not judging you, is not thinking bad about you. And it's like a colleague, a friend, a mother, a father, and it's taking care of you. But when you're down there, you don't think about it that way.
That I mean, it's a very interesting change that you went through, and you've reached where you are today. That people are inspired by you, and you know, but you know how. I guess you're able to help people because you've been there and you've seen how difficult it was for you to get out of it initially. But when you surrendered, and the universe came in the form of a dog, or like you said, that man who gave you the book, or many other incidents that you happened, but help did come, so you're never, I think each one of us is never left alone. And there are a lot of inspiring things existing in this existence, which I don't know, which we have to allow ourselves to see. We can't even say allow ourselves to see. We don't even know how to allow ourselves to see, when you are there, down there.
Maybe it's to choose yourself to deserve it, to
Yeah.
see it, that you
Yes.
deserve to have that amazing life. And so you, instead of looking down and saying, oh my God, this is so terrible, just look up and look at where's the nice stuff, where's my
Yeah.
present, where is
Yeah.
the good thing that is going to come to me, and I'm open to that. I think that's the whole difference. To be
Yeah.
inspired is just to, I'm open, so give me the
Okay.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And
And
Yes.
how can I make it better than this? How can life get better than this? Keep asking questions
exactly.
and throw the questions to the universe. And I guess the universe gives you answers. How do I make it better than this, than what I'm going through?
exactly. So that's the point. How to raise your energy and your vibration so that you can allow yourself from this to that. And that's the most
Yeah,
interesting thing. So when you're down,
so true.
when you're tired, when you're surrounded by people blaming you or making you feel guilty or not supportive, or you're tired of a job that you don't really like, or all those things drain us. So it's how can I raise my energy from all that stuff? How can I stop doing those things and start
Right.
doing other things that will lift my energy so that I can breathe and look up? Because life is amazing.
For me, small things inspire. Like you said, nature, Carol, like you also mentioned, nature is very inspiring. The once you are in nature, you get that sudden urge or that energy in you, that vibration, I guess, which is very inspirational. And you want to do something, creative after that. Music elevates me when I'm low or feeling a little low, whatever. I allow myself to feel low and let it all out. And then slowly, when I'm in the neutral state, that's when I can see, okay, I've listened to good music or watch comedy shows. Comedy, I've got a habit since many years. Before sleeping, I have to watch a comedy. I love myself to sleep. I have to watch comedy and sleep. In Netflix, I've put Friends in my ear and I'm listening to the dialogues now and I sleep off. It's so funny. But anyway, so I think anything in life can inspire. There's so much in life to inspire you if you choose to look at it. It's what you choose to look at. Meeting with my sister. My sister can inspire me anytime during the day. To feel inspired, I just have to pick up the phone to talk to her and I feel inspired. To talk to my parents, you feel inspired. Then I love watching videos I think it's all of us when we watch videos of people working passionately at something like a passion project usually so inspired to do something, similar. I guess it's the energy which you automatically pick up and then you get inspired to do. So when I watch art videos, oh, I feel so inspired. I go and start sketching or, painting. So I guess life is filled with so many inspirational things.
Hey, Palak, I remember reading your book and you had a couple sections on laughter. And I love that. And I'm trying to put more laughter in my life. And watching
Yeah,
things that are funny and it just lightens the whole spirits when you're
no,
laughing and having
yeah,
fun and just
true.
enjoying life and just
Yeah,
being pure, and pure
so
joy,
true. And then how
Yeah.
much comes out when you're laughing? Like when you're with your girlfriends and you're all giggling and having fun and being naughty. Oh my God, it's like you become schoolgirls once again, isn't it? It's so
I
much of
know.
fun. There is a time for seriousness too, of course, but then you need that laughter element in your life, I feel.
It's great.
But what was very valuable from what you said, Maria, is uh, for the people who are watching, listening to us, would be what you said, how to come out of because we always talk about inspirational things. We listen to a lot of motivational, inspirational talks, but the challenge becomes, but how do I apply it? So how when you thank you for actually opening up and talking about the phase when you went through the depression and how you
Yeah,
came
we
out of
didn't
it,
know
because that really gave us uh, tools. It gives people tools how they themselves can come out of it to allow themselves, um, allow others to come and help you. Like the dog in that case came to help you. And I'm sure you have many other stories where people come out and help. Otherwise, people who are generally sad or depressed, we tend to lock ourselves when we're in that
Exactly.
phase of our lives. And
Yeah.
and that
I lived,
lock, God knows for
yeah,
how long. Yeah.
yeah, I lived
So that was really
isolated.
good what you
So,
said. Yeah, and you
so
don't want to talk
yeah,
to anybody. You don't want to. Yeah, true.
yeah, you feel really bad. I felt really bad about myself. So I was judging myself all the time as useless or completely non correct, that I should be different. And that's really hard. And so relating to others when you're feeling like that is really difficult because it's a lot of pressure. You feel like you have to be somebody that you're not, and that if they saw you as you are, they wouldn't like you. So it's all the time keeping up with an image, and that's so tiring. So the first thing is to allow yourself to relax a little bit, like question your own thoughts, get some pressure out, give yourself a break, and start like doing little things that will get you out of that cycle, that vicious way of thinking, because it doesn't depend on other people. So nobody's going to get there and take you out of it. So you need to start allowing yourself to rest, have a little chance to question your thoughts. Is like, maybe it's not so bad to just be useless for a while and rest.
Yeah, because it's a phase. We've got to remember that that is a phase of our life. It's not our entire life. But we are not in a position to see that. We think that's it, you know? But only if
Exactly.
somebody tells us, or we tell ourselves, okay, it's just a phase that I'm going through. It's going to be over soon. And, then hope gets us out of it. When we start hoping, okay. And then, like you said, surrender and wanting, please help me, please help me. And then you got that feminine energy hug in the night and you cried like a baby. All those things
Yeah,
help.
let the pressure out. So just shout, scream, be angry, do whatever you need, and take care of your energy levels, the little things that you like. Start questioning your thoughts and be really open to the fact that life is different as what you think it is, and challenge life to show it to you. It's like, yeah, for me that was because I was very proud at that time. So it's like, if you are different, show it to me. And it did. So
Yeah,
it's a way of getting yourself to use your talents in a different way. So yeah,
so
definitely.
true. And they say when you scream or when you want something so badly from your heart, like each and every cell in you, it happens. They say that. I mean, I'm sure each one of us have gone through such experiences in life and we've said, enough. So, do
Exactly.
something needs to change. And it does happen eventually.
That's the
But
only
I like
thing.
what you said, Maria, is that you have to be open. You can be so down in the dumps and be so down on everything and so negative, and then you just reach the point where it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm surrendering, and then you were open, to new thinking. I think
Exactly.
that's so important. Life is, I was thinking of the seesaw when you were talking, the highs and the lows. And, we always want to be on the high side, but sometimes, it's a balance. And, you work towards the high, but you got to take the lows into account and just kind of just ride them through, but always know that it's only a temporary state. Believe that it's just a temporary state, so that allow yourself to come out of it and just seek those little positive jewels of whatever you're coming across in the day, and find positivity in that. And it will help change the way that you're thinking.
Yeah. And also, in my case, it was a lesson of being humble, because I was really proud and I thought like I was right thinking what I was thinking, and life was what I thought and I was what I thought. And so there was no way out. And instead it's like, I have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah.
That was really liberating. It was one of the best moments in my life when I realized that. So yeah, to be humble and think, maybe I'm not right. Maybe this is not what it is. So just that thought opens you up to find something else.
Yeah, we've been communicating now like this for, I think it's almost a year, or will be a year soon. And
Oh my God, we
Palak and
should
I are surprised. We didn't
celebrate.
know, Maria, that you had that point in your life where,
I know.
you went through about depression. Because to know you now, I would never guess that.
Because I'm so
Because you're
happy.
so,
In fact,
yeah,
that's
you're
true.
so happy, full of joy. You help so many people with the trips that you do, and and you inspire people. And you certainly inspired
Absolutely.
me a lot over the last year. So
That's why we are all together. We're stuck for a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, it's funny because when you look at your shadows, it's also you find so much strength in it. So I those times in my life give me such a strength now to realize that how low can you get when there's an amazing bunch of things in life that are so loving, joyful, playful, fulfilling. And it's like, how low can you get when you have a very narrow perspective on life? And how proud I was to think that that was the only way to see it. So it's like if God is asking, have you had enough? And you're there like, no, I still want to think this way. And then you go down and down until there's a time when you say, okay, I'm done. I'm open. Maybe there's another way. And that's the only way. There's nobody that can do that for you. And when, as you said before, I don't know who of you both, when you change that, then life will answer and you will be held and you will be helped. So that's the point. Yeah.
But you're lucky and you're blessed that you got the awareness that, oh, I used to think like that and I need to change the way I think. Not many of us in different stages of life, we get that awareness, until it's, really past, it's in the past. And then when you look back, you think, I could have done that differently, or, I could have thought differently. Yeah.
Yeah. Also for me, it was very hard to adapt to the society I was in, to find a job that was permanent, to find, the life that normal people have. And I was supposed to live that way, but I'm not that way. So I was a weird one. And when you're
So
a
says
weird one,
society.
yeah, and you feel like you have to adapt to a normal standard, and you're not, then you get depressed, or you get
Of course.
there's something, or you get sick, or something goes and creates a crisis because we are here to be ourselves. So when you're not, and
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, the context I was in was really not traditional, but was conventional. That's the word I'm looking for. And so, people having a normal job from 8 to 5, having a, girlfriend and getting together, buying a house and all of those things. And I just wanted to paint and travel. And so I've always been different. So yeah, it's very good when you allow yourself to be yourself.
But that's what life is all about. If you look all around you, right? When we look all around us, there is beauty even in differences, and there is learning in differences. If everything is the same, your learning is limited, isn't it? So that's beautiful, and we all are unique, right? So we're supposed to be unique, and we're not supposed to live like cattle and herds. Yes, to have a balance in life, in society, and in our culture. Sometimes we give in a little, and sometimes we still stand out. We want to hang on to our uniqueness, and we want to do the things that we want to do. It's like the book that you read, the Jonathan Living Seagull.
Oh
That
yeah.
was a beautiful book too. Like, he just didn't want to be like the flock, and he wanted to soar high and try different experiences. I guess there's a Jonathan Seagull living in each one of us as well. And there are many
Yeah.
times in life we give into it, and many people give completely into it, I'm thinking. But it's okay. Sometimes you want to soar high, and sometimes you want to try different things. Life.
I think that when you're in your right, like in yourself, in your true self, everything feels inspiring because everything brings like an opportunity to be more yourself, to show yourself more, to learn more about yourself and about the world, and how that makes you grow. And it's all the time like, wow. But when you're not yourself, then everything is hard and difficult, and you're trying to adapt. And that is not what I mean. That's not what I'm here for. That's what I say. I'm here to be happy. I don't know. Maybe we could ask the people that are watching us, how do they feel inspired?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they could
How do they
comment.
do it?
Yeah, how do you do it? How do you that are watching this? How do you do it?
Right. What inspires you? Share. Share with everyone.
Yeah, we'd love to know and learn from you too. So that's amazing.
So if
Oh,
you've liked our conversation today, do like, share, and subscribe.